A zombie invasion event leaked, a new Rec Room original teased, and 3D models can be imported into Rec Room. Hello everybody, I'm BillehBawb from BVR, and welcome back to Rec Room Roundup, where we go over the latest in Rec Room news and updates. Since the last episode, RecCon happened, and a ton of important cool stuff was announced, but first let's go over some really quick updates. First up, you can now sell custom shirts. A few months back, they added the ability to create custom shirts, but there wasn't any way to share them with other people. Well, now, through the Ink Discord, you can get your shirt featured, which means that other people can buy it. Currently, getting your shirt featured is the only way to be able to sell it, but I'd assume that in the future they'll open it up more. Next up, Rec Room changed what player name tags look like, and I'm sure we all know by now that these new ones look really weird. Honestly though, I think they're only weird right now because we're not used to them yet. Overall, I think it's an improvement, and there's a ton of new cool stuff that came with it too. The new name tags show party color, team color, and it can show if a player is in your party or not. Rec Room Plus players also get a special golden name tag and a little thing next to their name. And finally, they're adding verified ticks to name badges for video partners, so people won't have to walk up to me and click on my profile to see if I'm the real one. There was also a huge quality of life change to the Maker Pen that kind of integrates the espresso menu here with selecting tools. Usually picking a new tool on the Maker Pen involves opening it up, looking at the top, and picking the tool you want to use, but this is a super easy new way to do that with just gestures of your hands. This is such a small but convenient change that's going to make building so much faster. And finally, there were quite a few important CV2 updates as well, including updates to the gun handles reloading functionality, the addition of the text screen updates to Doors V2, and the addition of these chips for keys that are super useful and let you check if a player has bought a key. And we also finally have functionality for World UI, which is basically floating text above players' heads, which is super helpful. So that's it for updates. Let's get into some of those juicy new upcoming features and events. Real quick, if you're enjoying the video so far and you want to support me, the best way to do so is in-game if you go to my profile BillehBawb just like this and click on that big support button. So first, RecCon happened in late September. Let's get a quick overview of that. In short, I think this was the best RecCon yet. There were a ton of cool booths and panels and stuff as always, but they also had a ton of extra stuff happening around the venue as well. For example, there were a bunch of these little buttons around that if you clicked on it would enter you into a Rec Room PC giveaway. And also they had this whole purple versus orange thing that was going on the whole time where you would pick a team right at the start and then whichever team had the more players at the end would get a special bubbly or something. The purple team ended up absolutely crushing the orange team the entire time. Looking at the Rec Room Twitter where they posted updates about it is pretty sad because there was not a single time that orange was even close to winning. That whole purple versus orange thing also carried into the exclusive items sold at RecCon this year. There were a bunch of pretty standard Rec Royale t-shirts, and there was some special Forbidden One and Forsaken One bubbly, but probably the coolest and most expensive items were the purple and orange keytars. If you wore one of these keytars and then went onto the stage in the main lobby of RecCon, the stage would actually change color based on what team you're on. So overall, yeah, RecCon was really well executed, but there's one panel in particular, the Gribbly keynote speech, that is super important. It was announced that in a partnership with Unity, they're creating Rec Room Studio. This is a version of the Unity editor, which is a game development software, in case you don't know, that you can use to edit Rec Room rooms from outside of Rec Room. Rec Room Studio will have support for a bunch of native Unity features, including a terrain tool, custom sounds, importing models, importing animations, probably particles, and so much more. I cannot stress enough how this absolutely tears open the floodgates of what is possible in Rec Room. People are now going to be able to use industry standard software like Unity and Blender to create models and animate them and do all of that stuff you'd see in normal games outside of Rec Room and then bring them into the game. And on top of that, there's already a ton of 3D models and pre-made animations people can download and use in their Rec Room games. And I'm sure on hearing that, you're already worried that there's going to be a bunch of people who throw together low effort experiences using other people's models and animations and stuff from the internet just to make money. And yeah, while that probably is going to happen, people are kind of already doing that on Rec Room just with the invention store instead of the internet. And also, it is totally worth it for all of the possibilities this gives to actual creators to make actual games. And I know a lot of people are also worried now that the Maker Pen might be kind of useless now, but it turns out that they actually used Rec Room Studio to create Showdown, the Rec Room original we talked about in my last video, and that actually answers a lot of the questions from the last video. And I think Showdown is a very good example of using Blender to make models and also mixing it in with Maker Pen assets, so I don't think the Maker Pen's gonna be completely obsolete. We don't yet know when Rec Room Studio will release. It'll probably come out to like a smaller group of people to beta test before it comes out to everybody, and I assume that it'll still be a few months before the beta test even starts. But I know who you are. You probably don't even care about creation tools at all, and you just want to play the new Rec Room original, huh? Well, lucky for you, at the Gribbly keynote speech, he also gave some very very interesting details about an upcoming Rec Room original. The main one was 4 survivors work together to thwart a player-controlled monster and escape its treacherous lair. The other snippets of information he gave just said that it will have a strong emphasis on co-op, there will be an XP and levels and progression system, and that it will be spooky and horror themed mostly. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this just sounds like Dead by Daylight. I mean, come on, 4 players working together in a spooky atmosphere against a player-controlled monster to escape. It's literally Dead by Daylight. Now, that being said, I think Dead by Daylight is a fun game, and I think it'd be fun in VR, so let's hope they don't mess that up. Honestly, it gives me a lot of hope that this game is gonna have XP and levels and a progression system, because I feel like that's something that's super engaging and good at making people want to actually come back to the game, and it's something that a lot of Rec Room originals are missing entirely. We don't know when this Rec Room original is releasing yet, but because it's supposed to be spooky themed, I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually relatively soon and came out in October or November. That Rec Room original wasn't the last of the spooky announcements made at Gribbly's keynote speech. He also announced that Rec Room was having a partnership with the Haunt Society, which is apparently some group that makes haunted houses. And so in partnering with Rec Room, I guess they're making a haunted house in Rec Room, probably. Not too much to say about this right now, but I'm sure we'll learn more as we get closer to Halloween. But wait, there is one more spooky thing to talk about, and this one is super interesting. Rec Room accidentally leaked some kind of upcoming invasion event. I don't have a quest, so I don't know exactly what's going on here, but apparently on some events page, there was an event accidentally put up early that says something about a science department and an invasion. And the only other thing we can really see is this picture of some guy holding some weird object with a robot in the background. Honestly, I have no idea what this is, but I think it could maybe tie into the Haunt Society thing or the new Rec Room original, because they all seem kind of horror themed. And you know, as we are coming up on Halloween, by it saying invasion, I'm gonna assume it means like a zombie invasion, probably. It seems like they're really going all out for Halloween here, so while we don't know what this event really is yet, just know that there's probably some big horror-themed event coming up soon. And also, it may involve robots and some weird tesseracts. I have no idea. That's it for the RecCon keynote spooky stuff. Let's talk about normal contests for once. After taking a multi-month-long break over the summer, a new Rec Room creator contest was announced, and this one has the theme Solstice. During its break, some changes were made to the contest structure and rules, but overall, it's still mostly the same. Here are the outfit items that the winners of this contest will receive, and here is the Maker Pen skin that winners will get. Overall, there is about 5 weeks of building time, so you have a while. Good luck to anyone entering, and we'll check in when it's over. Next up, very soon, Rec Room gift cards are going to be a thing. In RecNet, there's a new section where you can enter gift card codes, and then you can get balance on your account that you can then use to buy tokens and Rec Room Plus from RecNet. I don't know if these gift cards are just going to be like digitally sold, or if this means that Rec Room gift cards are actually going to start popping up at like Target and Walmart. If they are planning on physical ones, that will be really weird, going to Target and seeing Rec Room gift cards right next to like Fortnite and Roblox. Here is this week's weekly rotation of items. If you want to watch a video about how awful Rec Room's token economy currently is, then click this video right here. But other than that, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.